What is up, guys? Silver Warrior here, hitting you with the most generic intro all in all of YouTube. Now for today's video, let's just cut right to the chase. I am not about to sit here and talk badly about precious metal investing. I really believe it is a good idea to hold some physical silver and gold if that is financially possible for you. However, what I would like to argue against is this false idea a lot of new investors seem to get, which is that precious metals are the way to making it rich. You see, that mindset alone is alarmingly off base. When you are purchasing physical bullion, which is just pure precious metals in the form of bars, coins, and rounds, you are investing into a hedge against inflation. Assuming you didn't catch my last video, inflation is what causes prices to rise over time. While some of that occurs from consumer demand or cost of production increasing in themselves, some of it simply comes down to the fact that year after year, our money is losing a bit of value. So when I say precious metals serve as a hedge against this, I simply mean that they, unlike the money used to purchase them, will not consistently lose value over time. Therefore, the idea is that as long as you can keep your cost average reasonably low, you can preserve more of your wealth by holding onto precious metals instead of storing a global fiat currency like US dollars in your bank account. Now, of course, 2020 was a bit of a crazy year for precious metals, especially silver and gold, with each of them experiencing that huge March drop before ultimately turning it around, hitting crazy numbers in August, and ending the year a lot higher than when it began. To make it more concrete, silver was just under $18 an ounce when 2020 started, and as of the recording of this video, just a year later, it sits at a bit over 27. In that same time frame, gold grew from a little over $1,500 an ounce to a little over $1,900. Now if we look at inflation during that same time, the US dollar in the last year has only lost maybe 1 to 1.5% of its value, nothing compared to how much silver and gold's value was able to increase. So in this specific case, they did serve as much more than a hedge, as they increased in value a lot faster than the currencies used to buy them decreased, and thus, in the last year, they provided investors with a significant return on investment. Since they outpaced inflation by so much, they actually made more money. They increased in value even in relation to the fact that currency decreases in value. But let's keep in mind, this has been one of the 3 craziest price runs that these metals have seen over the last 50 years. And it's safe to say, even the 50% value increase that silver has seen, it's still far from enough to make a person rich who wasn't there already. Sure, if you could afford to spend a huge sum of money to begin with, you could have made a huge sum of money back with a margin like that. But to the average worker, like myself and many of you out there, even the most insane price spikes these metals have ever seen are simply far from enough to turn us into wealthy individuals. If you put a few hundred into silver and gold every week, you're not going to see that turned into millions years down the line. When it comes to precious metals, the world's oldest currency, there is a certain level of stability that will never really allow them to quite do the same that you've seen with like Bitcoin, for example. But on the flip side of this all, you also can rest assured that their value will never dip below a certain level either. The beauty of holding onto a tangible asset like precious metals is that by virtue of its limited supply, it can never be inflated the way global currencies are. With all that being said though, I really hope the newer investors out there have a better understanding now of what precious metals are really about. And for those with a little more experience, please let me know how you feel about precious metals as an investment, as a hedge, and anything else you may want to share. Until next time though, peace.